This is eSHOP Deals!
Hey everyone, welcome back. So as I just said in the intro, this is eSHOP Deals, where each week we look at some of the best games currently on sale on the Nintendo Switch eShop. And yet again this week we are hit with some major deals on some games that we don't see getting discounted all that often. But just before we jump into that, a quick reminder for anyone who might be new here to the channel, halfway through the video I'll be giving away two $5 eShop gift cards. If you want to participate in that giveaway, all you need to do is be subscribed to the channel and drop a comment down below. If you want to see the full contest rules, it's in the description of the video. Also, if by the end of the video you're still looking for other great deals, I'll always be linking down below last week's eShop deals as well as the latest under $5 video, because most of those deals are still running today and I just don't repeat them 2 videos in a row. Now, just as usual, let's not waste any more time and jump straight in. Just remember, one of the best ways to help support the channel is to hit that like button. Now, our first game for today is a brand new one to the series and also at a brand new lowest ever price, and that is Nobody Saves the World. That is now 20% off, dropping the price to $19.99 and will be running till June 20th. Now, this game is a top-down action dungeon crawling RPG. And you play as a really special character named Nobody that basically finds a magical wand that allows him to take on the shape of different characters. Now, first of all, this game is extremely addictive because each time you unlock a new character, you then have to unlock their new abilities, which leads to a new character, and so forth and so forth. And each time you're close to unlocking a new ability or character, you're just going to want to keep playing that little bit more to unlock it. This game comes from the same developer as the Guacamelee series, so it's not a surprise that visually this game is just stunning, and I love the artistic style behind all of its animations. On a final note, I do want to mention that as you push through the game, you'll be able to mix and match the abilities for the different forms, and that's really where I ended up having a ton of fun here. Overall, an amazing pick that came very close to being my pick of the week. Now, our next game is another one at a brand new lowest ever price, and that is Ultra Age. That is now 50% off, dropping it to $14.99, and this one will be running till June 23rd. Now, this game is a 3D action game, and if you want a quick comparison, I would say you could use the Devil May Cry series as a reference point. This is also a game that I actually played on stream, and I'll be linking that down below if anyone wants to check it out. Now, I also referenced the Devil May Cry series because this one, I do want to give the warning, it can become quite challenging at moments. And it does really depend on fast reflexes and your ability to manage multiple enemies at once and switch weapons according to each one's weakness. However, it's also a game that once you get into it and everything starts flowing together, you can pull off some pretty great combos. On a side note, I do also want to mention, however, that although the gameplay here is top-notch, the level designs do become somewhat repetitive in some levels, so it doesn't have that quite level of polish of a bigger release. But for today, at only $15, if you're an action junkie, this game should definitely be at the top of your list. Not only that, but there's also a free downloadable demo. Now, our next game for today might be a regular on the series, but it's at a brand new lowest ever price, and that is Pumpkin Jack. That is now 60% off, $11.99, and will be running all the way till June 30th. Now, yet again, here we have a 3D action platformer. However, this one is way more focused around the platforming, with still a good dose of combat. And also, yet again, this is a game I played on stream, and it'll be linked down below. Now, in this game, you're playing as Pumpkin Jack the Pumpkin Lord, and contrary to usual, you're trying to help evil defeat good. To do so, you'll have to fight your way through a variety of levels and also defeat a variety of bosses. Now, playing through this game on multiple occasions, it did remind me a lot of the Medieval series. However, at the same time, it really does its own thing, also having some sub-levels where you actually behead yourself, and it's really focused around puzzle solving. Overall, this is one of my favorite indie 3D action platformers, and I would have easily said it's worth the full price of $30. So today at $11.99, it's a total steal. Now, our next game is yet again a favorite of mine, and that is Mighty Goose. That's at a brand new low of 50% off, $9.95, and will be running till June 20th. Now, this time around, we have a 2D action run-and-gun shooter that to me really feels like a blend of Metal Slug and Gunstar Heroes. Not only that, but the overall graphics and chunky sprites are also very reminiscent of games that we would have played on the old Sega Genesis, and personally, that was one of my all-time favorite consoles. Now, this game really focuses on over-the-top action with a healthy dose of crazy humor. There's also a variety of upgrades that you can unlock, and you can then select to really help you cater to your personal playstyle. Lastly, this is a game that received a lot of post-support from the developer, so far as getting free DLC and extra levels added in just lately. Once again, another game that was easily worth its full price, and at $9.95, once again becomes an amazing pickup. So now it's time to take a quick break and announce today's winners of the $5 eShop gift cards. And our first winner for today is going to be JB, who said, Gigantic Army and Jotun are both excellent games. I've played them and beaten them both on PC. And I'm really glad, JB, that you agree with me including those games on the list. And you know what? I really wish I would have played them earlier because those are two amazing games. And now our second winner for today is going to be Captain Wally, who said, Love the intro, lovely and great video as usual. I'm really glad that you liked the new intros, Captain Wally, and you know what? I'm having a ton of fun making them, and they're all just for laughs. So now all you need to do to claim your $5 eShop gift cards is reach out to me in my pinned comment down below. Now if we jump straight back into our deals, we have a brand new one for the series, which is Infernax, now 20% off, dropping its price to $15.99, and will be running till June 20th. Now this game is a retro-styled 2D action platformer with some slight RPG mechanics added to it. And it's also a game that I've actually been trying to play on stream for quite a while, it just never wins the vote. But one day it will, and trust me, we'll have tons of fun when we get to play it together. Now oddly enough, this game reminded me a lot of Castlevania 2, and I know for a lot of people that's not their favorite Castlevania. But the combat and art style is very reminiscent of that series, and the way you have to go through the villages receiving quests to make it through the game, like I said, just reminds me of the whole basic setup in that game. The only thing is they've taken out everything that didn't work about Castlevania 2 and made it a much smoother package with some really great boss fights. So overall, if you're looking for a retro action experience, Infernax can be a really good pickup for this week. Our next game for today is a brand new one to the series, and that is Underhero. That's also at its lowest ever price of $5.09 because it is 70% off. It is running till June 23rd, and this will be my pick of the week. Now this is another one of those games that should have never taken me so long to try, and once I jumped into it, I immediately fell in love. I would say that primarily it's the mix of a 2D platformer and an RPG. However, it doesn't end there, with combat that is also based around timings and a stamina bar. Now, all that might feel like a huge mix of elements at first, but trust me, it all comes together perfectly in this package. And although I would say that the gameplay is the star here, there's also a very interesting and funny story behind it. And I would even say that at moments, it reminded me of the classic Mario RPG. But overall, I really think that this is a game that if you're a platformer fan, if you're an RPG fan, at only $5.09, don't miss your chance, pick this one up, you just might find a new gem. For our next deal, we have another game at a brand new lowest ever price, and that is Record of Lodoss War, Deedlit in Wonder Labyrinth, that is now 30% off, dropping it to $17.43, and will be running till June 20th. Now this game is basically a 2D action Metroidvania, and it is very reminiscent of Symphony of the Night. And once again, I'm going to repeat myself, but this is a game that I also played on stream, and I'll be once again linking it down below. So as I said earlier, even though at first the animations and the gameplay will remind you a lot of Symphony of the Night, as you get deeper in, this game really does do its own thing. First of all, I did feel that overall this game did focus more on puzzle solving. And secondly, the combat in this game is much more focused around the gimmick of manipulating the two elements that you can control than straightforward combat. And don't get me wrong, those aren't negatives. I'm really glad that this game eventually takes its own path. I do want to mention, however, that for a Metroidvania, I did find it a little bit short, and most people in my opinion will finish this in around 6 hours. However, for the overall experience, I definitely think it was worth the price, and today at $17.43, it really feels like a great pickup. Now, our next game is an unusual one because normally I never suggest a game I haven't played yet. However, this is a special case, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge is on pre-order discount of 10% dropping it to $22.49, and will be releasing on Thursday, June 16th. Now, not only is this a special entry for today, but we're actually going to go over a few special elements about this game. Now, first of all, just in case you didn't know, this is a 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up that is really a throwback to the 90s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle titles. And for me at least, especially since Breath of the Wild 2's been pushed back to 2023, this is my top anticipated release of this year. It's offering an awesome retro art style, and it's been developed by the same people who did Streets of Rage 4 and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. So let's just say I'm almost 100% sure this is going to be a great game. Now, the two side elements that I don't normally cover in eShop deals that I do want to cover today, however, is I do want to mention that this game will be free day one on Xbox Game Pass. So if you do have that service, you're going to be able to play it at no extra cost. In my case, even though I do have Game Pass, I'll still be picking this game up both digitally and physically on the Nintendo Switch because I need it in handheld mode. And that brings us to the other element I want to cover, which are the different physical editions of this game. Now, I did mention this on my stream last week, but although Limited Run Games has a variety of physical editions, as well as some other limited release companies, I, however, am going to be going with the Asian collector's version that's available on PlayAsia for only around $36. It might not offer all the goodies of the $200 collector's edition from Limited Run Games, but you know what? I still find it's a really nice package for the value. Also, I'm pretty sure it's going to be delivered before those other versions. So just in case you're interested, I'm going to be leaving a link down below in the description and the top pinned comment. But overall, this is going to be a great release this week, and Thursday I'll be streaming it so you can come by and have some fun. So now it's time for the Sizzle Reel of Deals, and yet again we have a packed one today, so make sure you don't miss it. So that was pretty much it for our eShop deals for today. So let me know down below what games you're picking up in the comments. Also, I want to give a huge shout out to my channel supporters. Their monthly support is just so appreciated, and you can always check out all their names on the end screen of the video. And on the way out, don't forget that if you did like the content, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already, and click on the notification bell so you know when all my future content comes out. And as usual, I hope I'll see you in my next video.